What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader finally coming back to you with another what to buy on eBay video. I haven't done one of these in a while because I've been traveling so much and I've got some more travel coming up. So I figured I better get one of these in for you guys that are actually out there looking to buy. And wow, we've got some really awesome items, as you can see by this thumbnail. We've got a TVC miscard, we've got a newsstand edition CGC 9.8 of Star Wars 42, and everything in between. And before I dig in any further, I need to say thank you to my latest Patreon supporter, Matthew Baracco. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up to get all of my videos 24 hours early. And I want to go ahead and dig right in because I found a lot of good stuff, both buy it nows as well as auctions, that I wanted to cover in today's video. The first one is a Luke Skywalker baggie. This is an ESB-H baggie. I did double check this baggie versus the baggie guide online, and this is, in my opinion, legit. The baggie itself has got some wear, but not too much, and it's fully sealed, and it's listed right now for $150 US. And there are 9 people watching it right now. I think that's actually a pretty good buy for a baggie for Luke X-Wing. He doesn't come up that much, and this is one of the baggies for him that doesn't seem to show up all that often. So that's a pretty good buy there. Next up, this seller, the Muffin Man, we talk about him all the time in my vintage loose graded videos, and he's got a UKG 90% bib Fortuna Ledy. So this is the Mexican Ledy with the kind of greenish robe and dark staff. And it looks legit to me. Everything looks correct. And it's got the brand new case style. Now it's listed for 495 pounds, which is $630 US. He did send me an offer for 475. My gut says that he'd probably take even a little bit less for that one. And that's a really nice high-grade Ledy. Very tough to get in a high grade, no matter who the grading company is. So UKG 90%, straight 90s for the sub scores, and that's a pretty awesome looking example of the Ledy. He also has a dark brown Hoth Rebel soldier. This is the Spanish PvP figure. Now this one came with either the metallic Bespin blaster or the regular Bespin blaster. This one just has the regular, hence the price reflecting that. The metallic blaster by itself can go for 300 or 400 bucks on Facebook. So this one's UKG 75%, so not particularly high grade, but you got to remember that this is a Spanish figure, and the paint apps on these are very tough to have in good condition. But it's that very distinctive dark brown vest and boots for him. He does have some wear on the boots and on the face, which is very common. But that's a pretty nice looking example. This one is the pink face variation. There is a pale face variation as well. That one's listed for about 300 pounds, which is $375 US. There's 7 watchers on that one, and it's also make an offer. So that's another really nice foreign variant that's fairly high grade. This seller, Casual Retro Trader, and I can never pronounce his name, but he always has some really nice figures, and he's got some great prices on loose graded figures. They're all buy it now situations. This one is a No Coo Obi-Wan Kenobi with kind of, I think this is the white hair. It's hard to tell. It could be like the light gray hair. But this is the No Coo UKG 75%, or excuse me, 85%. And this one has the brand new case style for 129 pounds, which is $164 US. And a lot of these are geared towards my folks who are watching over in the UK, because you're going to pay a lot less in shipping than we are. These can be pretty expensive to ship to the US. It's another $38 for them to ship to the US. But if you're in the UK, this is a pretty good value, I think, for a very high grade Obi-Wan. He also has the gray hair, the darker gray hair, UKG graded Hong Kong Obi-Wan Kenobi, UKG 85%, again, brand new case style. That one's 145 pounds, which is $184 US. I think both of those prices are pretty fair. That's about what I paid for a couple of my UKG graded examples, and well within market, in my opinion. He also has a China Stormtrooper. Tough to find these in a very high grade. And this one's a UKG 80% with 85% subgrades. That one's only 109 pounds, which is 138 US dollars. So again, I think fairly well priced on all those, and those are all buy it nows. This is an interesting one as well. This is the Solid Dome Taiwan Solid Dome R2-D2. And the Taiwan is a lot harder to find, in my opinion, than the Hong Kong. The leg is kind of splayed out just a little bit there on the left-hand side there. And the sticker does have a little bit of wear to it. So it's probably appropriately graded at 80%. But again, a pretty good example of the Taiwan R2. That one's 139 pounds, which is 177 US dollars plus shipping. And then this one I think is another really good deal. This is a UKG 85% Luke Jedi brand new case style. This is the Hong Kong with the sewn cape. That one's 159 pounds, which is 202 US dollars. This one has 7 watchers on it. That is dead on the money in terms of price. That's a great price, $202. So again, if you're in the UK, you can avoid those higher shipping costs that it'll cost for us in the US to get some of these high grade UKG figures. Next up, I've got a Return of the Jedi number 4 in a CGC 9.8. This is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, and I love this book. It's a beautiful example. CGC 9.8, and this is the adaptation. This is number 4 of 4 in the adaptation of the Return of the Jedi. Great cover with Luke Jedi, the Emperor, and Darth Vader there. I just love this cover. It's very simple, very clean. And it's 138 US dollars with $14 shipping. That's probably a little high. It's not too far off. You might want to watch that and just see if he makes you an offer. I would say to me, I'd probably pay in the 120 range. So it's pretty close in terms of market value there. But that's a nice looking book. I just absolutely love the adaptation of Return of the Jedi. All 4 covers are just really, they really pop for me. Next up, I've got an auction for Star Wars Tales number 23. This is the first cameo appearance of Darth Revan and Malak, and this is one I do have in my collection. It's at auction, 4 days, 11 hours left on this auction. Right now it's at $42, and I think I'm going on memory, but I think I paid right around $250 for mine, somewhere in that ballpark. It might have been a little higher than that, I can't remember. But this one is, this is the painted cover, which is a little bit easier to find than the photo variant cover with Wedge Antilles on there. But again, it's the first cameo of Revan and Malak, and just judging by Hasbro's kind of release of those 2 figures in the Black Series, and we know that Revan's probably coming here soon to the Vintage Collection, it just seems like there's momentum building for those 2 characters in the expanded universe to eventually see them in Disney Plus content or some kind of series or movie. And I just like this Dark Horse book. It's a really nice one, and to me, I think you could spend your money a lot worse than getting this book. It's just a good kind of expanded universe key book to have, and hopefully it stays low, just given the comic book market prices. I tend to not want to send you guys buy it now situations for comics, because every time I think they hit a new low gets hit. So this is a really good book though, and worth watching. And as always, I'll put in the video description the item numbers for these, so you can go check them out at your leisure. SW Seller always has beautiful high-grade loose figures. Go check out his other items for sale, because I only included a couple of examples, but this one's got 3 days and 13 hours left. It's an AFA 80 plus not the hollow tubes, but this is the long eye tubes Sand People. And again, it's an AFA 80 plus. Right now it's at $105.50 with 3 days left. And I'm expecting it to sell in the high, close to $200, somewhere in that $160 to $200 range. But that's a beautiful example. This has got the light brown bandolier kind of paint scheme there. And those eye stalks are the longer eye stalks, as you can see there in that close-up. So it's not as rare as the hollow cheeks, but it's probably the next one down, other than maybe the Spanish figure that's worth having in your collection if you're into variant hunting. But right now, again, it's at $105.50. He also has an AFA 85 Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is the white-haired Hong Kong. And this has got the letter on the saber hilt as well. So this is an early saber variation. Very high grade, brand new case style. What a stunner. I don't know what it's going to go for. It seems like Obi-Wans have come down in price just a little bit. They used to go like $450. Now it's more like $260 to $300, somewhere in that ballpark. But that's in really great shape. That's one I still need in my collection, but it's not the right timing for me, but I wanted to at least share that because it's a beautiful example. He also has an AFA 80 squid head made in Mexico. So this is the Lili Ledy for the US market with a clear blister, AFA 80. It is a punched example, 77 back A, 80, 85, 85 are the sub scores. And again, that one's at auction, $115.50 right now. And for those of you who don't understand what the made in Mexicos are, these were made for the US market, so they're not the Mexican market releases that obviously have the Spanish writing on the front. But they have a little breather hole by the Return of the Jedi. As you can see there's a little hole that was factory punched. And then in the lower left-hand corner, it'll say Made in Mexico. The backs of the cards are very matte finish. They're not as glossy as the U.S. card backs. But so this is the Lili Ledy squid head made for the U.S. market, and it's a stunner, made in Mexico, AFA 80. That is a stunner. I already had that in my collection, but I wanted to point that one out because it is at auction. I'm going to guess that this one sells in that $350 range, somewhere in that ballpark. But that's a really nice looking example for another foreign variant. Darth Maul's number 2 in a CGC 98. This is the first appearance of Cad Bane. This book has come way down in price, and this is right now listed for $140 in a buy it now situation. It's probably about right. I mean, again, I don't usually like to include buy it nows for books, but that's pretty much market value right now. It's $125 to $150 in that ballpark, and this one's listed for $150 on the money. So maybe you watch it and it makes you an even lower offer, but that's Cad Bane's first comic book appearance. Pretty great cover as well. Next up, here's an auction. Now I'm gearing this one towards some of the YouTubers out there and some of the collectors in the toy community. He did mention he wants this book, so I wanted to point this one out because it's at auction. This is Darth Vader number 6 from 2017. This is the first appearance of the Grand Inquisitor. Again, another book I have in my collection, and it's really kind of flatlined because of the story arc that the Grand Inquisitor had. It wasn't that great of a portrayal. It was kind of mediocre, and so as a result, this book has really dropped a lot. But it's a great cover. It's his first comic book appearance. It's at auction with 4 days and 14 hours left. So, check it out. For those of you who are out there looking, $10.50 is the bid on that one. I'm guessing it's going to sell for less than $150 is my guess. So really great cover there. I love that cover. Next up, we've got The Mandalorian number 2. This is the 1 in 50 ratio variant. And what did I tell you a few months back when I bought mine for $175 plus shipping? I said, I bet you can even find it cheaper if you just wait a little while longer. Well, sure enough, here it is. This is listed for $150 free shipping. So this has gone even cheaper than when I finally pulled the trigger on mine. This is the first full appearance of Grogu in comics. It's a great cover. And again, it's the 1 in 50 ratio variant. So very tough to find that. For every 50 of the standard cover A, only one of these was printed. And it's not rare. I'm not trying to say it's like super rare or anything, but because it's a modern comic, it's probably not going to ever do anything in value. But if you want Grogu's first full appearance and you want the highest ratio variant, the 1 in 50 is it. And $150 is the cheapest I've seen here recently. So again, $150 free shipping on that. That's the cheapest I've seen. There's 6 watchers on that one right now. Next up, we've got another auction. This is the ESB vinyl carrying case with the Wampa variation. So the Wampa's in the upper right-hand corner. I love this one. It's got the Bespin scene there, the fight between Luke and Vader. And you've got the Hoth Stormtroopers in the lower left, and you got Yoda in the upper left. Just an awesome looking carrying case, and this one's graded AFA 80 plus. And wow, what an awesome looking item! It's at auction right now. It's at $372 with $10 shipping. This is Brian's Toys, so we know it's a trusted seller. And I don't know where this one will end up. I'm going to guess somewhere in the $700 to $800 range, somewhere in there. It might go lower, though. You never know. And that's a pretty cool-looking vinyl carrying case. Very high grade from AFA. We're digging in some more expensive items now. This is a 21 back A Death Star droid, AFA 80. And it does have a pretty ugly price sticker in the upper left-hand corner, the Toys R Us price sticker. It is also a punched example, but it's a clear blister. And it's an AFA 80, 80, 85, 80 are the sub scores. And it's listed right now at $975. And there's 6 watchers on this one. I don't think it's that far off of market value, quite honestly. It's probably, If I had to throw a round number out as to what I think it's worth, I'd say $900, but I've seen them go higher. But I think what's holding this one back from actually selling is that Toys R Us price sticker. But if you can live with that and you want a high-grade Death Star droid on a 21 back, that's not a bad option there. Next up, this one just got relisted for even cheaper. This is the Boba Fett mail-away, 100% complete with the box, the note to consumers, and the catalog, along with, obviously, the Boba Fett mailer. Now, it's not graded, but it's got this sliding acrylic case, and this seller, LM Lane 3, always has really high-grade stuff or really nice stuff, and we know it's all legit. So I think that this is a really good buy. It's the SWD Baggie. It's really pretty close to market value right now. It's got 9 watchers already. He had it listed higher, around $1,500, and then he took it off, and then he relisted it for $1,229 plus $14 shipping. And again, it just got listed. There's already 9 watchers. I expect this one to sell pretty quickly. Let's see. Next up, we've got the TVC miscard that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I think it's too high right now, but right now it's listed for $1,500. This is Mace Windu on the Obi-Wan Kenobi Attack of the Clones reissue, and it looks like a correct factory sealed example, 100% legit there. You can see the waffle pattern around there, so I think it's a legit. And this is one I've seen in the past. This is a miscard that is not like terribly uncommon, but anyway, it's listed at $1,500. I personally think the max value on this is about $1,000. There was a Boba Fett Zutton miscard that just sold at auction for $1,000. So that's kind of the target I would aim for. It is make an offer on that one, so maybe he goes that low, maybe he doesn't, but I at least wanted to point it out because the miscards don't show up too much for the vintage collection on eBay. And then finally, here is that newsstand edition of Star Wars 42. This is obviously the first full appearance of Boba Fett as well as Yoda in the vintage Marvel run of comics. And you can see there, it's got the brand new CGC label that says newsstand edition. It's got the barcode in the lower left. It's at auction right now. I don't know where it's going to end up, but right now it's at $1,000. The last one that sold in the $2,500 to $2,700 range, somewhere in there. But if you want a high-grade newsstand for Star Wars 42, it's at auction. There's 4 days and 14 hours left on this one. And right now, again, it's at $1,000. I expect to easily double that price, if not 2.5 times that price. So anyway, just some more ideas out there for those of you hunting. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.